Good evening and welcome again to Teaching Through Conversation Season 2, Episode 12. Tonight we are diving into one of the most important topics, practical topics, one of the topics that make us to be the Methodist people. We're talking about the use of money. Let me take this opportunity to send Reverend Molo's apologies. He had to attend to an urgent work responsibility. So today's topic is rooted in one of John Wesley's most well-known sermons, the use of money. In his teaching, therefore, Wesley warns us or reminds us that money itself is not evil. Rather, it is the love of money that becomes destructive. So money, when used honestly and wisely, can be used effectively for the advancement of God's kingdom as we do God's mission. So for us tonight, as Christians and as Methodist people, this message therefore is a call to be responsible about money, to be ethical as we use money, and in our giving, that we need to give generously. Wesley's principles challenge us to view money not as something that we possess, but as something that we steward on God's behalf. As we often say when we have to give to God during Sunday services, that we give Him back to God the good things that God has given us. So it's not what we possess, it's not what we own, but God has given to us for to steward on His behalf. So it asks us to use our earnings, savings, and giving in ways that reflects Christ's love and justice. So let's begin with the first principle in this sermon of the use of money. Gain all you can. What does that mean? So here we are encouraged that as believers we need to work diligently and to make the most of every opportunity to gain all we can. But Wesley also warns us against gaining wealth in ways that harm ourselves, our neighbors, our relationship with God. You know, we often ask God, can I have this job? God, I need 1, 2, 3. And after we have gained all we can, certain things suffer in our lives. Certain relationships suffer. And the relationship that suffers is the one with God, the one with the giver, when we have now gained the gift. So that's where it all goes on. So the question, as we begin to engage, the question is, how do we balance, therefore, this call to gain all we can without falling into the trap of greed or self-centered ambition? How do we balance? As we are told, in terms of the use of money, we need to gain all we can, but without now falling into the trap of greed, wanting more, self-preservation, self-centered ambition. And at the end, relationship with God suffers. Then we end up not making time for God because of what we have gained, and we make time for other things. How do we balance? I'm now opening the floor. Before I give you my view. Or should I give my view first? So, according to John Wesley, when he teaches us to gain all we can, it is about faithful work, not selfish ambition. We are called to use our skills. We are called to use our gifts. We are called to use our time, our energy productively, but always with honesty and integrity. It's not therefore about chasing wealth. It's about honoring God through diligent labor and wise management of our opportunities. So gaining all we can, it means all we can. It means that it does not mean when we say be mindful that it does not remove you from your relationship with God. It does not mean that you should not produce, you should rather produce, what do you call, what is this word that I'm looking for? Mediocre work. You should not put all effort. You should not be intentional in what you do. So as we gain all we can, we should know that it is about the advancement of God's kingdom through our skills, through our energy, through our time, as well as monetary wise. So we gain all we can so that we can advance the work of the kingdom here on earth. But the question is, how do we balance the teaching or the call to gain all we can, while also we're talking about that it should not be about self-interest, it should not be about self-preservation, it should not be about self-ambition. How do we, what is your thinking? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Tabi saying, can you come in?
I understand, Rev. I think I don't want to talk now. I'm always talking.
I saw that. You were avoiding.
I think firstly, before we even come to the part of gain all you can, it's prior to gaining all you can, how are you within yourself? Learn to be content with the situation you are in and what you have then, and learning to, with what you have, even that small amount, giving that to the kingdom and giving that to working for God with the little skills you have. Lysidian is just a student at the moment, but with the little skills she's got, she brings that to the church. So one day when she is, what do you want to study? Psychology. It's like one day when she's a psychologist, then she can bring her skills of human psychology and understanding the human mind to the church as well. So that's where it starts with, when you still have that little, what do you do with it? And you practice that way, so that when you do have that much and you've gained that much, it's easy and it's a habit and it's a norm to bring that also to the church, so that it also works for the church.
Thank you for that. Anyone else? So this, for me, actually speaks to the relationship that one has with money, the relationship that one has with your achievements or your gifts, because we not only, as Ntabi said, it's not only about monetary things that we gain, but gaining gifts, acquiring, skills. How do we, after we've gained all that we can, how do we now bring that back or use them effectively in the house of God? It talks to the relationship that you have with self, the relationship that you have with things that you have acquired, that they don't get to control you, but you're still in control. It's not only money that controls people. Skills, thinking that we are gifted, that can also play a pivotal role in thinking that you have arrived, in thinking that you are the person. Therefore, instead of that working productively and effectively or in a good way for God who has given you that gift, it actually removes one away from that relationship. Later, what do you want to add?
I'd like to add. I agree with what Ntabi saying. When she's firstly saying that it starts within first. Yes, I feel like it starts within first, and when I say within, it then goes with faith. on the other hand. So it's more of about, even when you're giving out, I take it as that type of thing. Whatever I give out, that is, how would I say it? That would somehow show my faith, towards God. So even though I have the little that I have, but giving out and just saying, you know what, this is me showing my gratitude towards you, even with the little that I have. I then have this other quote that says, how does it say? I think I have it on my phone. That I don't understand this, but it is so strange how a little can be so much when you're happy, So it starts within, and the within goes with the faith, and the faith then goes with how you can show that gratitude towards God. So I would say the balance would just be faith. Yeah, faith. Your faith in God will, I guess, determine the balance for your life, I guess. Yes.
Thank you so much for those input, and I totally agree with the both of you. The second segment of the use of money, according to Wesley's theology, speaks of save all you can. After you have gained all you can, now we are to save all we can. So here Wesley was concerned about living wisely and avoiding waste. Is it not what we were talking about just now before we started with the live streaming? That how many of us, or how many times that you go into a shop or you walk into a store just to buy, with the intention to buy a loaf of bread, but we end up spending, I end up spending carelessly on things that I did not intend to buy. So we are to save all we can, challenging us not to spend carelessly or on luxuries that serve no purpose. So that's what we are cautioned on, that we are not to spend on things that do not serve any purpose. I used to be, if you think of Ananeng, I spend now, I used to be an impulsive buyer. When I get home, I realize, I'm like, do I need this thing? Okay, what's going to happen if I don't have this thing, in the absence of this thing? Nothing is going to happen. With me having this particular thing, what is going to happen? Nothing still. I'm still going to be the same person. And the next day I take it back. So it talks to, and you need to know your weak points. You need to know yourself as a person, Horanani. How do you caution yourself? How do you work around being impulsive, avoiding being impulsive, trying by all means to save all you can? And now I can safely say, yes, on a live stream, that my mother taught me to save, the importance of saving. And my kids actually admire me in terms of saving, that I do not spend money unnecessarily. Yes, I may go into Checkers with the intention of buying bread, then it's no longer just bread, it's tomato, it's that and that. But when it comes to saving, I think it's the kind of where God has placed me, actually, because I had the opportunity to experience, to live in abundance and to live in absolute lack. So I'm like Paul. So I am in that position where I know, actually, the church, things can tell.
No. Paul, I also thought poor.
Paul, what did I
also heard poor.
What did you guys hear?
Poor. That you are poor now.
Oh,
no,
I can't be poor. There's no way I can be poor while I've got my father, who is so beyond rich, beyond human comprehension. But that does not mean that one has to be careless. So I've learned to save all you can. That's what John Wesley is saying. So saving money can feel difficult. it's, I'm sure, a difficult task for most of us. In a world where there are so many pressures. She was just telling me, Lisedi, what she plans to do in the near future. I'm like, where are you going to get that money? So it means I need to reduce or withhold the allowance for her not to do that. We are living in a world where there are so many financial demands, but the question is, what do you think John Wesley meant when he said, save all you can? I'm sure Zamukufi, you're like, but Rev, how do I save all I can? It does not say save all that you have. It says save all you can. And when you look, and it's exactly what we spoke about in Tabi, saying that when you buy the necessities, things that you need, everything else, and you've taken care of all your obligations, it means that everything else actually you can save. It does not, you don't have to waste it. So that's what when John Wesley is saying to us. And many of us think that we cannot afford our lives, or we do not have enough money to live comfortably. But when we look at things that we spend money on, that's when we realize actually we've got money, but we use it not in an effective way. And after you spoke at Women's Conference, I told them that I am living with that. Yes, I'm cautioning myself when it comes to spending, that you might say you're buying coffee is just 20 rand, coffee is just 30 rand, or you're just buying this, is 10 rand, but you're buying it how many times in a month? There's nothing wrong with buying something out of budget when you did not budget for it, like once or twice. But if you're doing it like every single week, or at least 3 times a week, then it becomes a problem. Then it should form part of your budget. It means is your need. So, and I don't know about you, in the past, I would have this budget, but then every time I go beyond budget. Do you get that? I go beyond budget, and you have to take from the money that you've just saved. So save all you can. How do you do it? What did John Wesley mean, Anel, by that? Sis Dingas, what do you do to save all you can?
If I think it's not in my budget, definitely I won't even buy it or whatever. So when I do a budget, I always I'll tell myself, okay, this month I want to do this, but if I can't do it or I go beyond it, but I make sure the following month I replace whatever that I did.
Wow. Kato, do you want to share? What do you do to save all you can with your allowance?
Are you saving? I don't got any experience now.
Why are you laughing? You don't have to have a lot in order to save all you can. You save all you can from the 50 rand that you may have, that you can spend 10 rands on things that you need, and 40 rands you probably don't need it. So you save all you can. Katleo, I'm using it as an example, not necessarily 50 rand.
No, I get that. I'm thinking of my allowance.
Yes, talk about your allowance.
I'm thinking of my allowance.
Is she frugal?
Huh?
Is she frugal?
Is she what?
Frugal.
What does that mean?
Super stingy.
She is
For herself, to herself.
Yeah.
What?
Like you don't like spending money on you.
Kato does not spend money, but we don't know where her money goes.
I don't know why this is funny, because you're dissing me.
No, it's the reality. So help us to understand.
What the baby cat doesn't have savings? Now you're putting her on the spot and she doesn't know how to answer for save all you can because Hannah save all you
Okay,
can.
but okay,
Exactly.
it does not mean
And,
that you are doing it. What do you think John Wesley meant by that? Save all you can. Like you said, in today's economy.
I think it's very
Is that
difficult.
practical, according to you?
I think right now it's very difficult, and I'm also thinking of the kind of man John Wesley was. Hello.
Sorry.
The kind of man John Wesley was, especially in the beginning, he didn't grow up with a lot of money, and there are those people who, like, if there's bread, milk, like the basics, they're fine, right? Some people are not like that. I don't think I'm like that, right? I want the broccoli, I want the, you get what I'm saying? So there are people, maybe for him, in my head, this is what I'm thinking, that maybe for him it was easier because of the lifestyle that he lived.
Yes.
Like, he went for basics, and that was that. But I'm also thinking, like, in
You
this
need broccoli.
economy, like, I'm
Everything
thinking,
broccoli is a luxury is a problem.
is insane, right? But in this economy, and I think mostly it's black people who really struggle to save, because you work from paycheck to paycheck. We don't have generational wealth like white people, whereas they can be like, oh, I'll save, or I can spend 400 on 1, 2, and 3, and 400 to them is like 40 rand. So I think it's different depending on different ethnicities, community.
But the question is it possible?
Yes, it's possible.
Because it requires only discipline.
But I'm thinking, when you're saying save, what amount are you saying? Like, let's say compared to Moto Akholang 10,000 a month, how much would you say they should save? Annually rent, annually or how to pay?
You can start by saving 100 rand. You can start by saving 200 rand. You can start by saving 1,000 rand, depending on your
But
commitment,
is
monthly
saving-
obligation.
Okay, let's talk about now in 2025 compared to 18 whatever during John Wesley's time. Saving then was more efficient than it is right now. Right now, you'd rather invest your money because when you save it,
But that's saving. Yes, now you're talking of different kinds of saving. So you just need to therefore be wise enough to know what kind of saving method you want to use.
oh, so you're not saying just save and the money just stays like that, it's not growing.
No, you should. Actually, that's where we lack as black people. Perhaps many of us are saving, but we lack the knowledge of what type of savings are we to be involved in. We don't go for investments, so we save in order for us to access money quicker. Sometimes we need to save and leave the money to grow. And I wanted to say this, when he said save all you can, he's actually talking about discipline, being self-disciplined. It's all about that. It's about having that foresight, and saving all you can therefore does not mean, one may think, okay, we're saying you should hoard the money. No, it does not speak about that, but it means to avoid unnecessary spending, so that when we can use money meaningfully. I listened to the radio, I can't remember when, on Metro FM, and one of the listeners contributed by saying parents go on saying that they cannot pay 1, 2, 3 for the children's schools, but then when is the child's birthday, look at the birthday party they throw for the child, or the birthday gifts they get for the children. That's what we do as parents. So is to have our priorities right. And I always say that even here at church. Why are you doing that, Anele? That
Is your birthday coming tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh.
have your priorities right. So
At least your mom stepped
know
up.
what is important, and what is important is always God first, and then everything else follow. And our parents got it right. Not us as your parents, but our parents My mother got it right. And I know many other parents in her generation got it right. No matter how much she earned, but the first thing that she does is making sure that she gives back to God and she saves before she can spend money. She commits to saving before she buys things for the house. Because sometimes, like Kato said, our way of living, we do not just make sure that we've got the necessities in the house, but we go beyond. Do we need biscuits? Do we need chips? Do we need nuts? Do we need juice? We've got water.
Ah, guys, you can't live like that.
Oh my word.
You
Lily Felix and Ikuku. Today.
I know. Let me say this, Kata, before Annalise speaks. My kids know that we do not buy cold drink in the house.
but
We don't
we
buy
buy it
that.
with our allowances.
First, I used to buy that maybe 4 times 2 liters for the month, but I stopped totally. Now we don't buy cold drinks, we drink water. Yes, they go and buy on their own and they know it is against my recommendation.
So you don't drink cold drink?
I don't.
No, we don't drink cold drink.
No, here's the thing. Bailey, she used to buy cold drink, ne? Like four thingies. What do you call it? And then give for Sunday fair.
And we get
Back when we were
excited for
younger.
Sunday.
Now, after
7 colors.
when you want.
But okay, one, she called coincidentally. Like, okay. But what they have now, this thing of saving, like now, for instance, Black Friday is coming now. And that's where, I don't want to say, but that's where black people get crazy because they want to buy the washing machine, that what. I don't want to.
I don't do shopping on Black Friday.
I don't save now. Like, I'm not on your savings. I think the only thing I save is for my birthday. But everything I get for October, that's my savings for my birthday. With me, if I want something like, because now, lately I have this fetish with appliances. I bought an air fryer. Ask me why, I don't know. I have my own air fryer. At home we have an air fryer. I have my own air fryer.
Girl.
I have my own blender.
Toaster.
Girl, I have it.
She's
Like,
gonna get her own kettle.
I have it. No, because I used to stay at res. So these things, okay. So I have these things. So I'm in my head, mom's like, but when I leave? So when I leave, there will be only
You'll
a
have a
few
sandwich
things.
maker, babe.
I think the only thing I need now is just a fridge.
But at least you're using your money wisely then.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
and then now, like every time when I say everything of mine is a necessity for me. If my hairstyle is going to cost me 800, I'm going to pay that 800. I'm not going to look for someone cheaper because what.
I can't pay that money for her.
I believe in paying for convenience more than anything.
Yeah,
I don't want to leave my money like because 10 rand
Wena. Who do you go with nothing?
Hey, you leave literally everything here. Now, you see, I told you my birthday next week Thursday, Revna. The shoe I want is $850. Ask me, I'm going to buy it.
Wow.
Why? It's my
Your mom
necessity
is
for
here.
that.
Your mom is here.
Hi, phone me. It's my necessity. Actually, even her, she's going to buy whatever. It's my necessity. And if I don't want to lie, if it was 1.2, because that's the original price, it's just now it was on sale.
Wow.
I was going to take it.
No, definitely. If it's on sale, I also buy stuff
I mean,
on sale.
go mad.
God
I
put them on
won.
sale for me. Yeah.
Someone offended.
Yes. Let's hear the comment. Okay, I'm good.
Offensive says saving money is a very challenging practice, especially given the current state of our economy. Without the basic skills and guidance on how to save effectively, it often becomes a continuous struggle. However, Through consistent teaching and open discussions, we can begin to learn and adopt better saving habits. And then the COVID-19 pandemic also revealed that many South Africans were not adequately prepared financially, highlighting the importance of saving for unexpected times. Conversations like these are essential in helping us understand how to manage our finances wisely, prepare for hardships, and ensure that we can continue to live comfortably, even in uncertain circumstances.
So actually she highlighted or touched on what I wanted to say, that saving all you can helps us to prepare for rainy days. You know, I guess that's what our parents taught us, that yes, you may not need it now, or you may not see the need for it now, but there will come a time when you are in trouble or when you are in need. God forbid you have a car accident and you know how much is the excess fee. So you cannot go around borrowing money for excess fee. You cannot go around loaning money for excess fee. Those are the things that you should have. We're not saying it's easy, but like Offense is saying, we have to practice. We have to discipline ourselves. We have to be intentional about it. Zamukucho, you wanted to say something?
I have to eat. Today it's about saving. Oh, I'm sitting here like, yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm like, yeah. Rev, the problem with us, as this young generation, this youth of us, we are having this belief, okay, even if I spend the whole of mine, I know, okay, the payday will come again. And then I will have another man. So if you can just remove that mandate, maybe we can be able to save. And for instance, discipline, we lack discipline. As you said, we budget for this man. You say, for instance, I went to a mall to buy groceries. Maybe I'll end up say, after buying groceries, let me just go to Spare. You see? Yeah. So this is not part of the budget, but now going to Spare. Exactly. After buying groceries, you see? So it's like you have food, just go in the house and cook it. But now you end up.
You don't want to cook.
You don't want to cook now, but there is grocery on the trolley. So I think it's self-discipline. And to say, but I'm saving. I did accounting, so I make sure I save no matter what. I make sure it comes to savings. I have savings because we don't know what life holds for us.
Thank you. I like that last line. We don't know what tomorrow has for us.
This is why we must spend the money. We work so hard for it. We need to say, well done.
Remember, you heard what Zamukushe said, that you buy groceries, but then you want to eat out.
As a celebration of buying the groceries.
I used to be like that. You know, I used to there would be food in the house, like groceries in the house, like there would be veggies, there would be meat in the fridge, but then I feel I want to cook something that is not here. Then you go out shopping. That's a waste. That's exactly what John Wesley is talking about. Use this that you have. Make use of what you have. And I must say, now actually, I've got a very good friend who cautions me all the time that, but we've got this, use this. So it's unnecessary to buy groceries and still go out and eat out. Why? Why am I not grilling the meat in the house? Preferring to buy Nando's. Preferring to buy Nando's.
Exactly.
No.
The Bible says, guys, to gain more money,
You
need to
spend.
Is that little was theology?
No, stay in the Bible. It's a parable also.
Peter wants to
Katlego.
I think, not in my opinion, I'm gonna come back to what she just said now, that it's all about obedience. Going into a whole season, obedience. They know, my family knows I never used to spend money before. I used to save. I used to say, okay, it's fine.
But she
And
would also not have money.
at the same time. At the same time. So I learned that there are things that you need
Oh,
and there
now
are
you're
things.
spending and you have no money. Yes.
You will see, and then she's always telling you, and how about to
Katleho, wait. Huh.
That now I know what I need and the difference between what I need and what I want. So before it was that type of thing, I would save to the point whereby I would walk to a certain place, not to spend money.
When
I'll
she would ask for
Exactly.
money,
I would ask for
that,
money,
but then
I'll
she
save
keeps
the
it.
money. I'll do my hair. I would learn how to do this hairstyle than to go and get my hairstyle done, stuff like that. So it taught me, that type of thing. There are things that you need, there are things that you want. But now, because of that season is over, I'm in that season, I'm spending it now. Because I deserve that, ne? But again, I need to know, I get to spend it, I'm a crazy person, And again, you need to know, like I said, it's all about faith. Like I can 10 times. So it's all about, it's a phase, it's a learning, experience or season, I guess. And now it worked for me. So I'm spoiling myself as we speak now.
Clock it.
So could never do my own.
So now, the third principle speaks to give all you can. This, therefore, is the ultimate test of being a disciple, Anele. You can't call yourself a disciple, yet you are not giving. Having gained, having saved, therefore we are called to give, and not only give, but give joyfully. Often give sacrificially and give generously. So, and I want to attest to what you've just said, that as I've also gave a reflection of how I relate to money, saving again leads you to giving, because now you are very mindful of what you have is not out of your own efforts, but it is actually the giver of life who did not only give you life, but gave you the means to live this life. Therefore, you make him the center, you put him on the pedestal by coming back and giving all this that you have saved, all this that you have gained. And what do we talk about at home? And this is what she said, actually. And I said, Nthabise said the same thing. Said, Mandy, you need to keep on encouraging people to give, because I see you giving and I see what God does in your life. I'm like, when I say these things, people think that I'm saying them because I'm a minister. And Nthabise is encouraged for giving, and she gives generously now. And I'm sure you can see what God is doing in your life. Giving all you can. Like I said, seek first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall follow. And like you said, at the 8 o'clock, they like to give testimonies. Anele, you liked that at 8 o'clock, we give testimonies. When we give all we can, God does wonders. So true giving, therefore, goes beyond money. We're not only talking money. We're talking about gifts. We're talking about our time. We're talking about our skills. You coming here, you are giving of your time. You are contributing towards the mission of empowering, of enabling one another. Like we said, we are not only here to teach, but we learn from one another. So it's about the heart posture.
The heart's posture.
The posture of the heart. It's not only, it's not, I should remove only, it is not about the resounding of the coins that we have, or the notes that we, the weight of the notes that we give, but it is about the posture of the heart that matters. So one of gratitude, one of compassion, one of faith, as you've said it. because we cannot give in the absence of faith. Because we give. Do you know why you give generously? Because you've got this utmost trust in God and complete confidence in God that God will take care of your tomorrow. That speaks to faith. So that's why we give all we can. And we remind ourselves, you've said it, Anel, that tomorrow I can wake up not being here. Who knows that I'm here tomorrow? Because everything belongs to God. Why do I want to spend it on things that do not matter and not give it to God? Because it came from God and therefore it belongs to God and it should go back to God. Don't you think it makes sense that way? So when we give, we are returning to God what is already His. All the good gifts that He has given us, using it to uplift others through the Docker's cupboard, through the soup kitchen, through each and every ministry that we have in this sanctuary, building His kingdom. So giving, I want to close it by saying this, because before I open it, that, and everyone who's listening, giving, because I see us as Christians, us as Methodist people, this is the concept that we have. This is the notion that we have. Giving, Katle, is not a loss. Giving is an act of worship. What is worship? When we say we do call to worship, God is calling us to worship Him. When God has done wonders for us, in our inability to say thank you, when our humanity limits us, we come to God and we worship Him. Through songs, through hymns, through prayers, through gathering. So giving, therefore, is not a loss, but is an act of worship. So what is your take on that? What do you think true Christian giving looks like in our time, especially in a world marked by so much inequality and struggle? What does giving or Christian giving looks like in our time?
Someone is saying something.
Yes. And I want you to speak to Lelo because I know you are giving. What does Christian giving looks like to you? Or what does giving, how do you feel after giving from a young person? No, let's take this first. Yes.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Can you help us, Annele? What is that name?
Yeah.
Can you say, what is the name?
Muilwa.
Muilwa. Okay, Muilwa, hi.
Okay. Planning is essential in any area of life. Therefore, saving is like planning or preparing for future, including giving.
Yes. And hence we call it planned giving, meaning that you do not just give haphazardly, but you take God so seriously that you plan your giving. You do not only plan your giving, but you pray for what you are giving to God. As we said, it's an act of worship. Yes, listen. How do you feel as you give to God? Why do you give? What does it? What does it bring to you in terms of emotions? What emotions do you experience when you give?
Okay. I would say that after giving, I feel at first it felt like I had to give. It felt more like
An obligation.
yeah, because growing up, like parents would give you money for collection. Every Sunday, you have to give money. So it changed this year where like now I was giving from my own pocket.
Actually, I wanted to say that I don't give my children money for collection anymore. They give from their money,
So I was giving from my own pocket.
their
So
allowances.
so it would, at first, like when it was coming from me, it would feel like, yo, chelete ka ya fela. Kentsha chelete ka koleka every Sunday hunting. But then there are parts in my life where I see God working because of the reason behind my giving. So yeah, I would say after giving I feel content because I know what's about to happen, what's about to unfold. So yeah.
That's very profound. Anyone who wants to share? How do you feel, or what do you feel when you give? What is the reason you are giving over and above us telling you that you need to give?
I think, Rev, I will agree with you said it first. No? So when you're growing up and then we've been given a month, okay, when you get to church, you need to give. So it was just like easy like that. How my man is giving money, just give. But now, when it's coming from your own pocket, at first it was not easy. Like to adjust, okay, we are taking out money from your pocket. Like each and every Sunday I have to give from my own pocket. It's not that easy. But you see, Rev, one day or during my classes with Minister, she taught me that you need to pray for each and every cent that is coming in your bank account, each and every cent, so that when you are taking it out, and especially you are giving it to God, God will multiply it and see. You will see for yourself. You see? So that's why if I didn't like give out of my pocket, and if I was in the church, I was like, okay, I missed the Sunday, but I make sure I put it in the account, in the church account, and then pray about it. No, I missed the church, but it's Sunday today, and it's coming from this pocket, so I have to make sure it's okay. God, I'm giving out of heart. So it's that. Okay, please, and you need to encourage that giving. It should be from a spiritual habit of yourself. It's don't just think, okay, the money is going out, but think of the good things that God have done for you. So if you're not giving thanks to God, it's just going to close doors for you, and then it's coming a problem now. So yes, that might take.
Thank you for that. That's powerful. Anele?
Liseli and Zamobile, but when their parents used to give them money, they didn't feel it. I felt it because how Malenga, your colleague, what am I going to spend sweets on? And I was like, God knows that. If my mother gave me 5 rand, I'd give the church 2 rand. 3 rand, I'd go spend it. I don't want to die. The Lord knows. And
Your mom knows too now.
Yes, a sharer. God and I are sharing. And I tell him, what sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. I want to buy these sweets. I want to buy what. And then I started using my money. And if on Saturday, because I prepare everything the day before, if on Saturday I'm saying tomorrow I'll offer like 50 rand, and then I remember it's okay, Monday I need to go to campus London, that 50 rand is for giving. But if I come here at church and I change my mind and give him 20 rand, the entire week. So that 30 rand I need to make it up plus whatever I was going to give the following Sunday. So now I know what God's money is God's money. If I have other things, I'd rather ask my mother, what's okay, girl? Yeah, sure. That knowing very well what maybe I told God what I'll give him 100 rand, and I gave him that 100 rand. Need to get yeah, sure. Thank you. But yeah, don't like now. I'm so sharing my money collection. I just gave him, and then he'll bring it back.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else who wants to share their experience of today?
No, I've shared my experience with that.
Are you fine? wants to share? So
I would say that I hear all of you here are, I guess, on a good place in terms of giving. Or you're not being honest.
Take it back.
I'm kidding.
Take it back, listen.
I said I'm kidding. It was a joke.
That's
Love.
Oh, can the 1st of December come?
Sure.
It's like been saying
what I want to say is that giving. Sorry, you made me cautious about it. Giving is, like everybody has been saying, it's a discipline, right? And you have to think of like the good things that are happening in your life rather than being like, oh, this amount of money is getting out of my bank account. And I know the importance of giving. I know the whole plan giving. Like these, I guess for lack of a better word, concepts, I know them very well. In fact, you would even think I'm a minister. Hakibu. Like I know them that well. But I don't know why is it so difficult to then translate them into action, right? Whereas I do give, but then it's like
reluctantly.
not reluctantly, but
For something.
sometimes sometimes like I'm not really thinking when I'm doing it. I'm doing it and then I'm busy with live streaming, or I'm not thinking that I'm doing it, if you get what I'm saying. And then the other thing
And
is
I have to remind you to do your plain giving.
During the people.
I want to get a table. And let me
And
not have a
actually, I want to
comeback.
speak about this.
And then
I can say
she's
this.
still-
Oh, you're still talking.
And that, the whole plan giving, not plan giving, no, giving, for like offering. Then, how do I say this? I see things happening, right? But then you know when the one thing you want is not happening, then you feel like other things are not happening. That's the end.
I wanted to go there. You see, that's how good I know you, because I gave birth to you. Anyway, so, and I can say this because you are my child, and everyone else who's listening. I may not know your story, but don't you think the reason you are where you are in that situation, it's simply because of this small act of giving, that you're not doing it properly or effectively, yet it is an act of faith. Because like we said, giving is an act of faith, is an act of worship. Giving is an act of complete trust in God. Saying, God, I surrender my all. God, you know my being, you know what I need. I give to you, knowing with so much, what's the word? Assurance that you will take care of me. So now I'm not giving you because I am bargaining. Let's not confuse the two. I am not giving back to you because I'm saying do 1, 2, 3 for me. I am not even giving to you because of what you have done for me, but I'm giving to you for who you are in my life. Then things will fall into place in your life. And that's the conversation I had with you. And I'm putting it out there with everyone. Change your mindset. It's one thing to know what things mean, as Kato said. But it's one thing again to act them out and put them into practice. Because The difference between us and that woman who was sitting at the back, who walked all the way to the front to give of her last 2 penny, it was not the amount, it was the posture of the heart. That she was intentional, she was joyful, she was thankful, she was giving sacrificially and generously. That's what God requires of us. Any comments? Do we have
Two more people.
Do we have here? Okay. Tabise, Letabo,
Okay, I wasn't going to say anything on this matter, but like I've said to Rev before, that at the beginning of the year, I kind of had like a revelation for giving, right? I was watching online streaming from this pastor lady, Dr. Cindy Trim, and it had to do with giving, right? And the quote that she actually gave that actually resonated with me was Malachi 3, from verse 8. But will a mere mortal rob God? Yet you rob me. But you ask, how are we robbing you? In tithes and offerings. You are under a curse, your whole nation, because you are robbing me. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be enough room to store it. I will prevent pests from devouring your crops, and the vines in your fields will not drop their fruit before it is ripe, says the Lord. Then all the nations will call you blessed, for yours will be a delightful land, says the Lord. And initially, like how you're saying that maybe we shouldn't have an obligation, I started initially with the obligation coming to this verse and saying to God that you have said that I've robbed you. Now here it is, I've bought it to you, and you are saying, okay, bring it and test me. And test me. And that is how I initially started doing it, and I was proven right or proven wrong.
Right.
Yes, and God showed me, Khure. Did I not say to you, Khure, do this thing? And
that scripture talks about the flood.
yes.
And imagine the floods. It's something that is unstoppable.
Yes. And that it's saying tithes and offerings. So as much as like maybe Gatlako was saying now that, you know, when it's offering time, she's just doing it in the moment. When you do get all your money in that moment then, and you pray for it, maybe in the moment that you're using it, you don't, you know, you just do it as an act in passing. But if you have prayed for all of it, I feel maybe, even if at that moment you're not necessarily praying for it, but in it, but for the fact that you have been in it for the moment prior to doing everything with it, when you do receive it, that, you know, it makes a difference. And like I was saying to you before, initially I had done that thing of a scheduled payment, my planned giving every month. It's like a debit order for me. I don't even see it. And I actually stopped doing that. And I wanted to be intentional with the act of saying to God, thank you, God. And here is that amount that I am saying, this is for you. I don't just want it to be just another chore or a pastime and, you know, like paying my debts or my monthly bills. This is not a monthly bill. This is an actual thing that I want to do and give of myself and my time, you know, of doing. So in offering, if I'm not, sometimes when we're doing the quiet thing with no beads and things, I don't want to do that. I want to sing and stand and chant. So
I'm putting that opportunity to people like
who maybe at that moment when they actually do receive their money, they don't give it that thought or that kind of process. So yeah, maybe
thank you for sharing.
Test him.
Maybe when it comes to you, people will hear it. And it's going to be Litaba. And remember what happened also with the children of Israel. God said, take what is enough for the day and trust me that I will provide for you. Don't want to keep things for yourself for tomorrow. I am in charge of your tomorrow. That's what God says. Later.
Osintabiseng is cooking me right now. like one food or
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, okay, there's something so the beauty of when you get to that point with your relationship with God, when you are really intentional, change your life. You know, you are so grateful from the most tiniest things to the biggest things, you know. And you always take that time, you know what, I am grateful. So I feel like this season, it's not easy. You don't just get there like tomorrow, you know.
Yeah,
But
it's a journey.
I will always use myself, and Elena, she knows what I'm talking about. That everybody knows where I'm coming from. Everybody knows where I am now. But there's just something about when you get to that stage where you just like, thank you, God. When you become intentional. And I love the fact that you actually answered yourself when you said with the whole collection thing, that you just do it. I feel like you're in that phase whereby you're not absent at everything, you know, and you just need to be present and intentional. Like she just said, test, mokobe, ask him, you know. So it's more about you actually changing or shifting your whole perspective, being intentional, being present. So the key is being present and also being very, very important.
Thank you. And it's not only one person, it's not only two people, it's not only 10 people who are struggling with releasing what they have gained. We've got many of us because we want to be in control. We don't want to actually allow God to be in control of our lives. Anel.
Saying they're motivating us to a certain extent, but here I stand with Katleo. For the first time, you see that time we told us to now all girl members must pledge, what. I didn't know that. I think the first 2 months were and then I started doing it because, and with me, I didn't do it as a demo. It was always something would say, okay, money's in, let me give thanks to God. And then, okay, yes, I did that. And with no obligation, with no, if I do this, you're going to do this for me. Like, it was just a genuine thank you. It's nyazi ngani, but this is what I'm able to do every single month. I don't want my money fluctuating. I want it to be like steady, and this is what I can every single month. And then it gets tiring. I won't lie, because if and this one starts saying ra 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 ra, the next person.
Talking about Ep.12 service.
No, and then this person next to me, and in my head I'm like, okay, I'm next. How? And you get demotivated in a way. And then, because look at her, she said, yes, other things are flourishing, but that one thing, I'm not even saying in my prayers because you know it's in my heart. I'm no longer mentioning it. Nothing. And yes, like one thing that even when I used to stay at rest, he gave me my daily bread. How? I don't know, but he gave me my daily bread every single day. And now,
Just one thing.
and I feel like it's so tiny because God, and then he'll do and you don't even see the extravagant thing, and extravagant thing is me being alive because others didn't see the day. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like this one, and it's like now I'm gonna shift my mindset, and I'm going to go back the way I was and actually give him with nothing, expecting nothing, no obligation or what. I'm going to test him. I must test him for the remainder of the year. I'm going to test him because he knows where I am right now. It's giving 2023 again. Putting it, I peace, God,
Remember, in you testing God, you also have to believe that He is able. Then it's actually a futile exercise if you asking God for 1, 2, 3, but again you don't believe that God can do it. Many of us do that. We pray, but we don't believe in the prayers that we pray. Now, I often say, I tell my children that I'm scared of my own prayers. Because I know, Osmesi, who I am praying to. Because I believe in God with everything that I am. Because I am who I am today because of God. So therefore, there's not a single prayer that I'm making to God that God does not answer. Whether I'm happy, whether I'm crying, God answers every single prayer.
You know, Riff, I think now I'm derailing and going off topic. This thing of maybe Annele saying that she's praying for one, she's grateful for this big thing, but this one thing now. You know, my whole thought of God, or now where I am with this, is that I'm trying to think, seek first the kingdom of God, and all these other things will be added unto you. God does not want us to live in lack or without the things that we desire, or even bigger, like
will not be in lack of anything.
Yes, or even bigger, like from Sunday service that call unto me and I will answer you, and I will give you even things that you know that you know not of. Or, you know, the verse that says, the things that I will do, no man has heard, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, the things that God will do for the things that, for the people that love Him. And that's in all of His words, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will be opened. He is saying to us, come to me and ask for those things. Don't not be shy and to ask your dad, who is in control of everything and owns everything in this world, to say to him, I want this thing and I want it tomorrow. In fact,
it's exactly what
yes, and yes, and if he says no, you don't get it tomorrow, then it just means, okay, there is something better than what I've asked for. That's all it is. It's not that I don't want you to have it. Then I have something bigger and better in store for you.
Yes.
But ask for it. Ask for even, you know what, go wild, go insane. Right now, all the time. My current CTC is this. I'm not shy to tell them, but I'm not going to say it on the live stream now because they work with me. We're in the same bracket, so it's fine. My next job, even from where I am right now, is going to be 1 million CTC. They laugh. I am going to, my next job offer is going to be 1 million CTC. I am applying for jobs right now. I might get a job tomorrow. I'll get it in a year's time. But the next offer I'm going to get is going to be 1 million CTC. And I am telling God, I am putting it out there, that is what I want. So this thing of, we're God's children, so we should be modest. And yes, let's be
modest with people, not with God.
You know, I want this amazing thing, and here I have 100 rand, and you said it only takes 10% to test you. 10 rand yes, I have 100 rand. 10 rand, 10 rand, 1,000 rand. That is literally what he's saying. He's not asking for more than that. He's literally asking for only 10%. And yes, ask with faith, and you will get it.
So what would you think, what is the most difficult one that we struggle with as Christians? Is it gaining? Is it saving? Is it gaining all you can, saving all you can, giving all you can? I think it's very clear.
I think they're so all interlinked that without one you can't have the other.
Definitely.
Yes.
Interconnected. So for us, when we have gained, you cannot not save. And after you have gained and saved, you cannot not give. It comes naturally. It's the only thing that you want to do out of the depth of gratitude when you run short of words, then you just want to give to God. And knowing that God is our provider. Yes, before we close, we need to wrap up. Is there any comment, question online?
That same man said, I believe in the phrase, paying it forward.
Paying it forward, like when you give, maybe give for the whole year. Is that what he says?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think when you've
paying
been
for
blessed,
the blessings that are yet to come.
Oh, definitely. Clock it later.
No, I was just saying, okay, it's burning. You wanted to say something.
Oh, I didn't see. Yes,
No, Rev, I wanted to go and highlight everything about this thing of Catholic. I think God, this thing of Catholic also touches me. Ne? When I walked into Lombard, I wasn't having any job. But when I get in here,
I remember. Yeah.
you were preaching, Rev. You said to us on the day, you said, on the other aspect, you shouldn't just not ask God, like literally say, okay, I'm praying to God because God, I want this job by this time, and I want this job now. You once said, on the other hand, you need just to pray just for wisdom and faith. So when you pray continuous wisdom and faith, God knows what's in your heart, and then it's where He's going to reply you in direct to show you that. And then I stopped on that day immediately, and I said, Nelson, when I'm kneeling down to God, I'm not going to pray that God give me job, God. No, I stopped on that day, but it was not even a month, and then I got a job. I was like, okay, so now I'm not praying for a job, but now I have a job. So what is happening? But that thing motivated me. I kept on praying that. And then now, where is come? I'm on a contract. And then now I'm praying like, God, give me one permanent. And then it's coming this thing of contract. And then contract comes to an end. I stopped praying. No, I reminded Rev said to me, no, don't pray that God give me this job. Extend this contract.
Yeah.
I went back and then pray. And then this thing of Bo Anel, it's also take me back during the ordination when the presiding bishop, I was lucky to be there. Okay, it's fine. When the presiding bishop, like, I took that influence, and then it's giving me like strength. Even if I'm absent at church, it touches me. That's when she said to you guys, this is a church, never betray the ministry. So this thing took me back. Okay, even if God is not giving you what you wanted now, but never betray the ministry. Be consistent with God. One day you'll be liking them things coming on your way, and then you're like, thank God, here I am. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for wrapping it so beautifully and profoundly, Wena Zamukushe. And this is the conversation. I said this, Anele, if you can remember, that the minute you are focused on one thing, you're not going to see the answer. Pray about it and hand it to God. Surrender everything to God and go on with your life because you've given it to God. You pray about other things. How about praying about being thankful? God, thank you for life only. And this is the conversation that I have with my daughter. That shift your focus and you will see things starting to manifest. You will see our God is the God of the impossible. Things will germinate this ground because God says, now this is the time. I, God, will make it happen. And I want to say to all of us as we close, and everyone who is listening to us, who is joining us online, God said, if we are faithful and trusted in the little things, then God will bring bigger things in our lives. So we cannot say we're going to give when our pockets are full. That's when we will give joyfully. That's when we will give generously. We give even of ourselves. We give of our time, of our skills. Right now, as mercy, of what we have while our fridges are empty. Because we trust in the one who provides. So it has been teaching through conversation where we do not just teach, but we learn with one another. So stay grounded, stay curious, stay in Christ until we meet each other again. God's blessings. Thank you for joining.